Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to 11 Yanks Breakdown, where we discuss all things U.S. men's national team. I'm Pete Douthit, and today we are ranking the top 20 under-20 players in the U.S. men's national team pool. Now, trying to predict the careers and the upside of young players is very, very difficult. So much goes into youth development, so much goes into whether or not a player succeeds or fails or what level they play at. Things like coaching, opportunity, environment, injuries, personal hunger, and drive. All of that goes into deciding whether or not a player will reach the heights and the capacity that their talent level seems to indicate they will. A lot of these players may or may not pan out to who we think they're going to be, but hey, ranking players is a fun exercise, and it also helps you to understand a little bit more about our young player pool, who's in the pipeline, who's ready to take more responsibility, who's going to be a leader in the future, and maybe, just maybe, who makes that 2022 roster in Qatar. But before we get into it, guys, if you're new to the show, welcome. Smash that subscribe button. We got new USMNT videos for you every Tuesday. If you're already subscribed, smash that like button. It helps other people find us. Here we go. Okay, so first up is Hayden Sargis, 18-year-old center back, plays for Sacramento Republic FC. He's a really good young center back. They've got 6 clean sheets so far. I think he's started every single game. He plays alongside Herman Trophy winner Thomas Hilliard-Arce, who used to play for the Galaxy, and honestly, he looks like a better defender at age 18 than Hilliard-Arce does. He's two-footed, which is what you want from a defender. He can play either side of the center back roles. He's very good with the distribution, and especially when it comes to playing long balls into the pockets of space that the wingers typically run into. He's been called a leader by the Sacramento coach, and they think he's going to be a captain for them by the time Sacramento gets to MLS in a year or two. If he has a weakness, it's his reading of the game and sometimes his decision making. But he's 18 years old. That's normal for a defender. He will improve as he plays and as he gets older and gains more experience. 19 is Taylor Booth, the central midfielder from Bayern Munich. We saw him play at the U17 World Cup, not this last edition, but the one before. Very technical. He's versatile. He can play as a 6, as an 8, as a 10. He's very good at distributing the ball between the lines, so breaking lines with passing. The problem for him is obviously at Bayern Munich there's a lot of competition, so it's going to be difficult for him to break through. He is still a little weak physically. He needs to improve his ability to fight for those 1v1s and just his ability in the cage to be able to hold on to the ball. 18 is Antonio Leone, dual national 16-year-old center back who just signed a homegrown contract with LAFC back in July. Antonio is a beast for his age. I've seen him play live. He is a fantastic defender, reads the game really well, aggressive, smart. Obviously, at his age, it's going to be difficult to get playing time with LAFC, but Bob Bradley's not afraid to play the kids. He's given time already to Christian Torres and Bryce Duke, so I really think he's going to get a chance at some point. Obviously, with Antonio, the problem is him being a dual national. He hasn't made a decision yet about Mexico versus the US, so show him some love on social media if you can. 17 is Julian Araujo, and some of you might be surprised that Julian is not higher up the list. At 19 years old, he has played 26 games for the Galaxy, scored 1 goal, got 3 assists, has played as a winger, but is really more of a right back. He's one of those young right backs who defends. A lot of young right backs tend to be very good going forward, but leave a lot to be desired defensively, and then as they get older, they tend to improve the defensive side of their game. Julian Araujo used to play as a center back in the youth ranks, so he's a natural defender, and he's somebody that you could play as a right back in a back 3 sort of situation where your left back is bombing forward and he sort of stays at home. He's played for the US youth teams, but obviously going forward, he told Extra Time Radio he hasn't made up his mind yet. I think a lot of it really comes down to opportunity, and with people like Sergino Dest and Reggie Cannon in the right back position, he may end up deciding that there's more opportunity playing for Mexico, but we will see. I really like Julian Araujo. His one weakness is that he can get caught out sometimes with his positioning, but a lot of that is a product of being 19 years old and just needing to get reps. Ricardo Pepi, number 16, 17-year-old striker for FC Dallas. Now, Pepi scored 12 goals for North Texas SC as a 16-year-old. He has 2 goals and 1 assist for Dallas. Strong, athletic, good finisher. He's one of those guys who can hold up the ball well, or he can stretch the back line with smart runs. Does need to work a little bit on his left foot, which is still not as developed as his right foot, and obviously his off-ball movement and understanding of space is still very rudimentary. But he could be a top prospect and maybe even somebody who's trying to break into that 2022 roster. Evan Rotundo is a 17-year-old number 10 who plays for Schalke's U17s. Now, he just joined Schalke in July. He's a dual national. I believe he has a French passport, which allowed him to get over to Europe early. In preseason for the under-17s, he has 8 goals and 5 assists. Evan Rotundo is a classic number 10, low center of gravity, good distributor of the ball, goal dangerous. In an interview with Soccer Nation, he said his goal is to be the, quote, best American player of all time. So he definitely has drive, he's hungry. Hopefully he can break through at some point. He's still very, very small and gets pushed off the ball sometimes, even at the U17 level. He is going to have to work a little bit on his frame, but also he's going to have to work on using the ball more than his physique to dominate that 10 spot. 14 is Mauricio Cuevas. He is a right back as well, plays for Los Angeles Galaxy 2. Mauricio Cuevas' specialty is free kicks. He has 4 goals in the league so far this season. All 4 of those goals were direct free kicks. But he's also very technical, very good on the ball, one of those guys who has both technique and pace. And for a 17-year-old, understands his positioning and his use on a team very, very well. Now, Mauricio Cuevas is also a dual national, but more than that, it's going to be difficult for him to break through at the Galaxy because they already have Julian Araujo there and Rolf Feltscher. Hopefully, at some point, Julian Araujo gets sold to Europe and they can promote Cuevas to the first team. He is really a top right back. Reminds me a lot of Dani Alves. That is not an exaggeration. Fullbacks seem to be dominating here, and number 13 is Jonathan Gomez, the 17-year-old left back for Louisville City FC. This guy defends like a center back and attacks like a winger. Now, he just turned 17, and I have sources that tell me he is ready to sign for a Bundesliga team as soon as he turns 18, which is why he's in USL, where he feels like he'll get more of an opportunity to get to Germany. This guy has the same level of ability as Kobe Hernandez-Foster, the other left back who's currently at Wolfsburg. He doesn't have Hernandez-Foster's speed or athleticism, but he is a top prospect to keep an eye on. Number 12 is Jose Gallegos, to continue the USL theme. 19-year-old winger, plays for San Antonio FC. He first came to my notice when FC Dallas played San Antonio in a preseason friendly back in March, and this Gallegos kid ripped that Dallas team to shreds. He made them look like toddlers on the field. Jose Gallegos is explosive, is great 1v1, he's very quick, and he can use both feet to either score spectacular goals or set them up. He's one of those guys that's going to draw fouls on either side of the field. If he wasn't playing in USL, he'd be getting a lot more attention than he is. Hopefully at some point he can make a move at least to MLS, if not Europe, because Jose Gallegos is one of those tricky wingers that I think we're going to be talking about for many years to come. Number 11 is Cole Bassett, very underrated player. He has 4 goals in 4 games for the US Under-20s and 4 goals and 4 assists in only 565 minutes for the Colorado Rapids this season. He is a classic 8 box-to-box midfielder, a lot like Weston McKennie. He doesn't get as much love because he plays for Colorado, but when you watch this guy play, his passing, his defensive work, his awareness, his intelligence, he's one of those guys that is completely underrated, and I think we need to keep an eye on. This central midfield area for the future of the USMNT is going to be stacked and extremely competitive, but keep an eye on Cole Bassett because he's better than a lot of people give him credit for. So that was part 1 of our 20 Under-20 11 Yanks rankings. Come back next week for part 2, where we'll discuss numbers 1 through 10. As always, you guys are awesome. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I will respond. Check out some of our other videos up there, and I will see you next Tuesday.